Hello, and welcome to Pets for Sleep. Whether you are returning tonight or discovering this quiet little corner for the first time, this is a place to slow down. Learn something gentle about the animals we love, and let the day soften around you. Tonight, we are looking at one of the most familiar mysteries in a cat's life. Why do cats sleep so much? Maybe you have seen a cat curled into a warm circle on the bed at 9 in the morning. Then you pass by again at noon, and the cat is still there. A few hours later, the light has moved across the floor. The room has changed. The day has gone on, and somehow the cat has only turned over. To human eyes, it can look almost funny. A small animal with food in the bowl, toys nearby, a whole home to explore, and yet most of the day is spent resting. But that stillness is not empty. Adult cats often sleep around 12 to 16 hours in a 24-hour day. Some kittens and older cats may sleep even longer, sometimes closer to 18 or 20 hours when their bodies need extra growth, repair, or recovery. That means a cat may spend more than half of its life asleep or resting. For a person, that would seem extreme. For a cat, it is normal. And it begins with the kind of animal a cat is. A cat is not built like a grazing animal that slowly moves through a field for most of the day. It is not built like a sled dog that can travel for miles in steady motion. A cat is built for quiet waiting, sudden movement, sharp focus, and short bursts of speed. Even the softest house cat still carries the design of a small hunter. The shoulders are flexible. The spine can bend deeply. The back legs can push the body forward in a fast leap. The claws can extend in an instant. The eyes are tuned for dim light, and the ears can turn toward tiny sounds that might pass unnoticed in a quiet room. If you enjoy these quiet journeys with animals, you are welcome to subscribe. And if it feels natural, to leave a comment sharing where you are listening from tonight. It helps others find their way to this calm little place, one sleepy pet lover at a time. The quiet continues here, just as it is. When a cat sleeps, it may look as though nothing important is happening. But sleep is part of the same system that allows the cat to move with such sudden grace when it wakes. Rest stores energy. Rest repairs the body. Rest helps the nervous system settle. Rest gives the muscles time to recover from climbing, jumping, chasing, stretching, and even ordinary wandering through the home. A domestic cat may not need to catch mice or birds to survive. Its food may arrive in a clean bowl on a kitchen floor at the same time every day. But the body does not forget its old pattern just because the house is safe. Inside that warm little animal is a rhythm shaped over thousands of years. Domestic cats are closely related to the African wildcat, a small desert-colored cat that lived by hunting rodents, birds, reptiles, and insects across parts of North Africa and the Middle East. Those wild ancestors could not afford to waste energy. Every chase mattered. Every missed pounce cost calories. Every long stretch of rest helped prepare the body for the next chance. So when your cat spends the afternoon sleeping in a patch of sun, or tucks itself into a laundry basket, or disappears under the bed for a long, quiet nap, it is not simply being lazy. It is following a pattern older than the sofa, older than the food bowl, and older than the quiet bedroom, where it now feels safe. mystery is not really why cats waste so much time sleeping. The mystery is how much hidden purpose can be folded into something that looks so peaceful. A sleeping cat is conserving energy, listening softly to the room, keeping the body ready, and living by an ancient rhythm that still moves beneath the calm surface of domestic life. And once that becomes clear, the curled shape on the blanket starts to feel different. It is not just a pet passing the day. It is a small hunter at rest. A quiet body designed for sudden life. A soft reminder that sleep, for a cat, is not the opposite of action. It is part of the action itself. That quiet design shows up most clearly when a cat moves. For long stretches, the body may seem soft and loose. The paws are tucked in. The tail lies still. The breathing is slow enough that the ribs barely rise. Then, in 1 second, the whole animal changes. A toy slides across the floor. A moth passes near a lamp. A sound comes from under the couch. The head lifts. The eyes widen. The shoulders lower. And the body becomes a spring. This is one of the main secrets behind feline sleep. A cat's body favors speed over distance. Domestic cats can sprint in quick bursts that may reach around 30 miles per hour, though only for a short time. That speed comes from a body made for sudden power. The back legs are strong compared with the size of the animal. The spine is unusually flexible, allowing the body to stretch and compress as it runs. When a cat leaps, the back feet push against the ground. The spine extends, and the front legs reach forward to catch the landing. The whole motion is brief, smooth, and costly. A cat can jump several times its own body length, sometimes 5 or 6 times its height, when the surface and timing are right. For a 10-inch tall cat at the shoulder, that can mean a leap of several feet onto a counter, shelf, fence, or windowsill. Those movements look effortless because they happen so quickly. Inside the body, they use fast muscle fibers that are good for sudden force. These fibers help with pouncing, climbing, twisting, and sprinting. They tire more quickly than the slower fibers used for steady travel. A dog's body tells a different story. Many dogs can trot for long periods, following a scent trail, crossing a field, or walking beside a person for miles. Humans are also steady movers. A person can walk for hours at a moderate pace because the human body is built to cool itself with sweat, carry weight on long legs, and keep moving across distance. Cats follow a quieter plan. They watch, they wait. They make one strong move. In the wild, small cats often hunt by staying hidden until the timing is right. A wildcat may crouch in grass, behind rocks, near brush, or beside a burrow. Its body stays low. Its paws step softly. Its eyes track tiny movements. The final chase may last only a few seconds. That short moment can decide whether the cat eats or goes back to waiting. This kind of hunting does not reward constant motion. Wandering around all day would waste energy and make the cat easier to notice. A still cat is harder for prey to see. A rested cat is more ready when prey comes close. Even play in the home follows this old shape. A feather wand moves across the rug, and the cat may freeze first. The pupils grow larger. The whiskers tilt forward. The body lowers, sometimes so slowly that the movement is almost invisible. Then the cat launches. The paws strike, the claws catch, and the moment is over. After a few rounds, many cats stop and lie down. To a person, it may seem like the cat lost interest. Often, the body has simply used the kind of energy it was made to spend. Short power asks for long recovery. The same pattern appears after climbing a tall cat tree, chasing another cat down a hallway, or jumping from a chair to a windowsill. A few seconds of intense motion can be followed by a long stretch of rest. The rest belongs to the movement. It is the quiet half of the burst. A cat sleeping in a warm corner is storing the fuel that makes those sudden motions possible. Every curled nap helps keep the muscles ready. Every hour of stillness protects energy for the next leap, chase, climb, or quick turn. The more closely the body is understood, the less surprising the sleep becomes. A cat rests so much because its waking life is designed around moments that burn bright and end quickly. That bright, brief movement has a cost. A cat may look small, but a full pounce uses the whole body. The back legs drive forward, the spine stretches, the front paws reach, the shoulders absorb the landing, the claws grip, the jaw aims, and the eyes stay locked on a moving target. For a few seconds, the body spends energy quickly. In wild cats, that energy does not always lead to food. A small hunter can stalk carefully, wait in silence, spring at the right moment, and still miss. A mouse may slip into a burrow. A bird may lift into the air. A lizard may vanish beneath a rock before the paws arrive. Many hunts end with the cat returning to stillness, carrying only the cost of the attempt. That is why rest matters so much. For a small predator, energy is like money in a tiny account. Every chase makes a withdrawal. Every leap uses fuel. Every failed hunt leaves less available for the next chance. A wildcat cannot simply decide to spend the day running through the grass. Its body has to protect calories until the moment is useful. The domestic cat comes from this same family of small hunters. Its closest wild relative is often linked to the African wildcat, Felis libica, a sandy brown cat with faint stripes, long legs, and a light body suited for dry grasslands and scrub. These wildcats hunt animals that are often small: rodents, birds, insects, reptiles, and other quick creatures can make up their diet. A single mouse does not contain much energy compared with the effort required to find, stalk, and catch it. Depending on size, a mouse may offer only a few dozen calories. That means a wildcat may need several successful catches across a day and night to meet its needs. The balance is delicate. The hunter has to spend enough energy to eat, while saving enough energy to keep hunting later. Sleep fits into that balance. A resting cat burns fewer calories than an active one. The breathing slows. The muscles release tension. The heart does not need to support fast movement. The body can wait without spending much. In nature, waiting is a skill. A predator that rests between hunting attempts can remain hidden, quiet, and ready. A predator that moves without purpose may scare prey away before the hunt even begins. This is why stillness appears again and again in feline behavior. A cat may sit near a doorway for a long time. It may watch a patch of grass without moving. It may stare at a toy that has stopped rolling, as though the whole world has narrowed to that one object. The action is small, but the attention is sharp. This same pattern can appear in a living room. A cat may chase a toy mouse across the floor, bat it under a chair, crouch beside it, then walk away and lie down. The play session may have lasted only a few minutes. The nap afterward may last much longer. That rhythm can feel uneven to a person, because humans often think of activity as something that should continue. Cats often treat activity as something to save for the right moment. Food in a bowl has softened the danger, but it has not erased the design. The bowl may appear at breakfast and dinner. The water dish may stay full. The home may be warm in winter and safe from foxes, hawks, cars, and cold nights. Still, the cat's body carries the habits of an animal that once had to measure each movement against survival. Long sleep helps protect that old energy budget. The soft cat on the blanket is not pausing from life. Its body is keeping fuel in reserve. Its muscles are waiting for the next climb, chase, stretch, or sudden dash down the hallway. Its nervous system is holding the quiet readiness that belongs to hunters. A full food bowl changes the cat's world, but the ancient pattern beneath the fur continues to move in its own steady way. That older rhythm reaches far back into the cat's family tree. The domestic cat is usually called Felis catus. Its closest wild ancestor is the African wildcat, Felis libica. This small wildcat still lives today across parts of North Africa, the Middle East, and nearby regions. It has a sandy grey or brown coat, faint stripes, long legs, large ears, and a body that can slip quietly through dry grass, scrubland, rocky ground, and the edges of human settlements. At a glance, an African wildcat can look surprisingly familiar. The face is narrow. The tail often has dark rings. The body is light and quick, usually weighing only a few pounds more than many house cats. Genetically, it is close enough to the domestic cat that the connection is easy to see. Modern research suggests cats began living near people around 9,000 to 10,000 years ago, when farming communities in the Near East stored grain. Grain attracted mice and rats. Mice and rats attracted wildcats. A quiet partnership slowly formed near villages, storehouses, fields, and early barns. People gained help with rodents. Cats gained a steady hunting ground. Unlike dogs, cats were not reshaped as heavily by human control in the beginning. Dogs had already been living with people for thousands of years before farming spread widely. They were selected for guarding, pulling, herding, tracking, and working closely beside humans. Cats moved into human life more lightly. They stayed useful because they were already good at what people needed them to do. A cat that hunted well near a grain store had a reason to remain close. A person who saw fewer rodents had a reason to tolerate the cat. Over many generations, the boldest and calmest wildcats became more comfortable near human homes. Their descendants kept much of the hunter's body and much of the hunter's schedule. That is why a sleeping house cat can still carry the shape of a desert edge predator. A cat curled on a fleece blanket may have never seen a dry valley in North Africa. It may have never stalked through brush at sunset or listened beside a stone wall for the movement of a mouse. Still, the nervous system inside the body responds to the world with old tools. A tiny scratching sound can pull the ears forward. A flicker under the door can freeze the body in place. A toy moving under a blanket can turn a quiet pet into a focused hunter in seconds. The home is full of soft modern things, yet the cat reads it through ancient senses. The hallway becomes a path. The couch becomes cover. The windowsill becomes a lookout point. The laundry basket becomes a hidden resting place with warm fabric and familiar scent. Even the cardboard box on the floor can feel useful, because enclosed spaces give a cat a protected edge from which to watch the room. This is part of why cats often choose sleeping places that seem odd to people. A cat may ignore an expensive pet bed and choose the top of a closet. It may sleep behind curtains, under a chair, inside a drawer, or on a folded sweater that smells like its person. These choices often make sense through the older pattern. A raised place offers a view. A covered place shields the body. A familiar smelling place feels safer. Warmth also matters. The normal body temperature of a cat is usually around 100.5 to 102.5 degrees Fahrenheit, a little higher than a human's. A sunny patch on the floor, a laptop keyboard, a radiator cover, or a blanket fresh from the dryer can help the body stay warm without spending extra energy. In a wild setting, saving warmth and saving calories are closely linked. In a home, the same instinct appears as a cat melting into a sunbeam. The wild cat inside the house cat does not make domestic life less gentle. It makes the gentleness more interesting. The animal resting beside a pillow belongs to a long line of small hunters that learn to live near people while keeping their quiet independence. Its sleep still carries the memory of open ground, dim light, hidden prey, and careful timing. That timing begins to explain why cats may seem drowsy through the bright middle of the day, then suddenly grow alert when the light begins to change. As the light thins at the window, the cat's body receives a signal that feels older than the house. The room may be quiet. Dinner dishes may be drying in the kitchen. The air outside may be turning blue instead of gold. For many cats, this is when the body begins to wake more fully. People often describe cats as nocturnal. Nocturnal animals are mainly active at night. Owls, many bats, raccoons, and some rodents fit that pattern well, because much of their searching, feeding, and moving happens in darkness. A more accurate word for many cats is crepuscular. Crepuscular means most active during twilight. That includes the dim period around sunrise and the dim period around sunset. The word comes from the Latin word crepusculum, meaning twilight. It describes animals whose lives are tuned to the soft edges of the day, when the sun is low and shadows stretch across the ground. For a small hunter, twilight can be useful. Bright daylight makes movement easier to see. Deep night can make some details harder to read, even for animals with good low-light vision. Dawn and dusk sit between those two conditions. The world is dim enough for cover, while still bright enough for a cat to track motion. Many small prey animals also move during these hours. Mice, voles, and other small mammals often leave their hiding places around twilight to search for seeds, plants, insects, or scraps of food. Birds may be active near dawn as they begin feeding. Insects may gather near lamps, leaves, porch lights, or warm walls as evening settles. A cat's natural schedule fits into this moving world. The eyes help explain why twilight matters. A cat's pupils can open wide, letting more light enter the eye. Inside the back of the eye is a reflective layer called the tapetum lucidum. This layer acts a little like a mirror. It bounces light back through the retina, giving the eye a second chance to use dim light. This is one reason a cat's eyes may shine green, yellow, or blue-white when a flashlight or car headlight catches them at night. Cats cannot see in total darkness. No animal eye can use light that is not there. They can see much better than humans in low light, which makes dawn and dusk especially useful. The ears also fit this schedule. A cat can hear higher-pitched sounds than a human can, including tiny squeaks and rustles from small animals. Each outer ear, called a pinna, can rotate to help locate sound. A cat resting on a bed may seem calm, then suddenly turn one ear toward the floorboard, the wall, or the corner of the room. That small movement belongs to the same twilight hunter that once listened near grass, stone, and dry brush. This rhythm explains many familiar household moments. A cat may sleep through a sunny afternoon while people work, clean, talk, or move around. Then evening arrives, and the cat walks down the hallway with new purpose. It may rub against a chair, scratch a post, watch a dark window, or suddenly race from one room to another. Some people call this the zoomies. The behavior can look random, especially when it happens after hours of rest. For the cat's body, the timing is more natural than it seems. The same pattern can appear before sunrise. A cat may step across the bed at 5 a.m. It may paw gently at a blanket, meow near a door, or sit beside a food bowl while the rest of the home is still dark. The cat is not reading a clock on the wall. Its body is reading light, routine, hunger, sound, and habit. Indoor life can shift the pattern. Meal times, lamps, television noise, work schedules, and bedtime routines all teach a cat when activity is likely to matter. Even so, the old twilight pull often remains. A cat may live under a roof, sleep on cotton sheets, and eat from a ceramic bowl, while still feeling most awake when the day begins to open or close. Its sleep is shaped by amount, and also by timing. The long naps of the day make more sense when the body expects important moments to gather near the dim edges of light. At home, that timing is shaped by more than the sunrise. A cat's day is guided by a body clock. Scientists call this a circadian rhythm. Circadian means about a day, and it describes the inner timing system that helps animals know when to sleep, wake, eat, move, and become alert. In mammals, this clock is strongly shaped by light. When morning light enters the eyes, signals travel to a tiny timing center in the brain. That center helps adjust hormones, body temperature, alertness, hunger, and sleepiness across the day. In darkness, the body often releases more melatonin, a hormone linked with nighttime rest. Cats have this same basic timing system, but their natural pattern does not line up perfectly with a human schedule. A person may think of daytime as the main active period. A cat may treat the edges of the day as the most interesting hours. Morning begins before the room is fully bright. Evening begins before the house is fully dark. Those in-between times carry the soft signals a cat's body is ready to read. The home adds its own clock on top of the natural one. Lights turn on in the kitchen. A bedroom door opens. A coffee maker starts. A food bowl is filled at nearly the same hour. Shoes come off near the entrance after work. The television hums in the evening. Over time, a cat learns these patterns with great care. A cat may begin waiting near the food bowl before the usual meal arrives. It may sit by a window around the same time birds gather outside. It may wake from a nap when it hears the sound of a cabinet, a can, a treat bag, or dry food dropping into a dish. Routine becomes part of the animal's sense of time. Feeding has a special pull. In many cats, meals can shift activity patterns. A cat fed at 7 in the morning may begin waking before 7. A cat that gets a small evening meal may become alert as that hour approaches. This does not mean the cat understands clocks the way humans do. The body learns through repeated signals. Light, sound, smell, hunger, footsteps, and household motion all become pieces of the same daily map. Indoor cats often adjust partly to the people they live with. A cat in a busy home may nap through school hours or work hours, then become social when people return. A cat in a quiet apartment may build its day around one person's routines. Some cats sleep on the bed through the night because the home is calm, warm, and predictable. Others patrol the hallway at 3 or 4 in the morning, when the house has settled into a deeper silence. In that silence, small things stand out. The tick of a baseboard heater, a pipe shifting inside a wall, a moth tapping near a lamp, a car passing outside, the soft movement of another pet in a different room. For a cat, the quiet house can resemble a hunting window. Less noise makes faint sounds easier to notice. Less movement makes tiny movement more important. Dark rooms create corners, gaps, and shadowed paths. The floor becomes a trail. The doorway becomes a lookout. A window becomes a dark square filled with scents, reflections, and small outdoor sounds. This is why a cat may seem peaceful for hours, then suddenly walk through the home with purpose after everyone else has slowed down. The animal is responding to a blend of old instinct and modern routine. The wild pattern points toward twilight. The household pattern points toward meals, people, sounds, and habits. Together, they create a daily rhythm that is personal to each cat. One cat may sleep hard through the afternoon and wake at sunset. Another may nap near a desk while a person works, then become playful after dinner. A third may grow active before sunrise, when birds begin calling outside and pale light touches the window. The long sleep of a cat is arranged around these active windows. Rest gathers around the moments when the body expects life to become useful. Those quiet hours are made of different kinds of sleep, layered gently between listening, resting, waking, and drifting back down again. Inside those quiet hours, a cat's sleep usually comes in pieces. Humans often think of sleep as one long journey through the night. A person may lie down at 11, wake at 7, and count that as one main block of rest. Cats follow a more scattered rhythm. They may sleep on the back of a couch for 40 minutes, wake to stretch, walk to the water bowl, look out the window, then curl up again in a different spot. Later, they may drift off on a blanket, open their eyes when someone walks by, turn their body the other way, and sink back into rest. This pattern is called polyphasic sleep. Polyphasic simply means sleep happens in many phases across a full day, instead of in one main block. Many animals sleep this way. Horses rest in short periods. Cows doze in pieces. Dogs often nap on and off through the day. Cats are especially good at it because their lives have long depended on staying flexible. A cat nap can be very short. Some may last only 10 or 15 minutes. Others may stretch much longer, especially in a warm, safe home. Across a full day, these smaller rests can add up to 12, 14, or 16 hours. The total number sounds large, but the shape of the sleep is spread out, like small islands of quiet placed between moments of watching, eating, grooming, walking, and play. The word catnap comes from this visible habit. A cat settles quickly. The eyes close. The head lowers. The paws tuck beneath the chest or fold against the belly. Then, after a little while, the cat seems to return. The ears move. The eyes open halfway. The tail gives a small flick. The body shifts, and sleep comes back again. This flexible style gives cats a way to rest without leaving the world behind for too long. For a small hunter, and also for a small animal that could be hunted by larger animals, that matters. A cat's ancestors needed sleep, but they also needed awareness. A wildcat resting near brush or stone could benefit from a light doze that refreshed the body while still allowing a fast response to sound, scent, or movement. A deep, unbroken sleep in an exposed place would have carried more risk. Shorter rests helped balance recovery with safety. The same pattern remains visible in the home. A cat may sleep in the middle of a living room while people move around it. A chair scrapes softly. A door opens. A spoon touches a bowl. The cat's eyes may stay closed, but an ear turns toward the sound. The rest continues because the sound is familiar. A sharper noise may bring the head up. A treat bag may bring the whole body to its feet. This does not mean the cat was pretending to sleep. The brain was resting in a lighter state, close enough to wakefulness to respond. Position changes also tell part of the story. A cat may begin a nap in a tight circle, with the tail wrapped along the body. This posture helps hold warmth close. Later, the same cat may loosen into a long shape along the couch, especially if the room is warm. A cat that feels very safe may sleep on its side, with the belly partly exposed. That position gives the body more comfort, while also making quick defense a little less immediate. Each posture carries information about temperature, comfort, trust, and how deeply the cat may be resting. The catnap is therefore more than a cute habit. It is a practical sleep pattern shaped by an animal that needs many hours of rest, yet benefits from returning to the surface again and again. A cat can gather sleep in small pieces. It can change rooms. It can answer a sound. It can follow the sun patch as it moves across the floor. The stillness remains flexible. Beneath the closed eyes, sleep has layers, and the first layers are often much closer to waking than they appear. Near the surface of sleep, a cat can seem almost perfectly still. The body may be folded into a loaf shape. The paws may be hidden under the chest. The chin may rest against a blanket, and the eyes may be closed to thin lines. Yet a small sound can still travel through that quiet body. A floorboard gives a soft click. A bird lands on the outside ledge. A spoon touches the edge of a bowl in the kitchen. Before the cat lifts its head, one ear may move first. That tiny ear movement is one of the clearest signs that the sleeping cat is still connected to the room. A cat's outer ears are called pinna. Each pinna is shaped like a little satellite dish, catching sound and helping guide it toward the ear canal. Cats have more than 30 muscles controlling their ears, which allows each ear to turn, tilt, and aim with great precision. One ear can point toward a sound while the other stays angled somewhere else. This gives the cat a moving map of the room, even with closed eyes. A human may need to turn the whole head to focus on a faint noise. A cat can often begin with the ear alone. This matters because cats hear a wider range of sound than people do. Humans usually hear sounds up to about 20,000 Hz when young, though that upper range often drops with age. Cats can hear much higher sounds, often above 60,000 Hz. Those high sounds are useful for detecting the tiny squeaks and rustles of small prey, such as mice. A mouse can make ultrasonic sounds, meaning sounds above the range of human hearing. For a cat, that hidden world of squeaks and scratches can be part of the landscape. Light sleep lets this hearing stay useful. During lighter sleep, the body rests, but the brain can still respond to the outside world more easily than during deeper sleep. The muscles soften. The breathing slows. The eyes stop scanning the room. Still, the nervous system keeps a thin thread of awareness stretched between the cat and its surroundings. This is why a familiar sound may barely disturb the cat. A washing machine hums. Rain taps the window. A person walks across the same hallway as usual. The cat may recognize those sounds as harmless and keep resting. A different sound can change the whole posture. The ears sharpen. The head rises. The pupils open. The body prepares to choose whether to stay, investigate, or move away. This kind of sleep makes sense for an animal that has lived on both sides of the hunting world. Cats are predators, but small cats are also small enough to face danger from larger animals. In wild landscapes, a resting cat might need to notice a fox, a snake, a large bird of prey, or another cat moving nearby. Rest could never mean complete surrender for too long. A lightly sleeping animal can save energy while still protecting itself. The whiskers also help the cat remain aware. Whiskers are thick sensory hairs connected to nerves at their base. They can detect touch, air movement, and nearby objects. A cat settling near a wall, chair leg, or blanket edge receives quiet information from the whiskers without needing to look directly. Even when the body is resting, the face is built to notice the world. The paws add another layer. Cats have sensitive pads that can feel vibration through the floor. A heavy step, a door closing, or another pet moving nearby can travel through wood, carpet, or tile in ways the body may detect. The sleeping cat becomes a soft little listening station. The ears read the air. The whiskers read the space close to the face. The paws read the surface beneath the body. All of this allows the cat to rest while staying ready in a gentle, low-energy way. This is why the phrase fast asleep does not always fit a cat's nap. Many naps hover close to waking. They gather rest without fully closing the gate between the cat and the room. Then, when safety feels steady and the body has stayed quiet long enough, sleep can sink below that watchful layer. Deeper rest begins to take over, and the work inside the body becomes slower, quieter, and more hidden. Below the lighter layer of sleep, the cat's body begins to settle in a heavier way. The ears move less. The paws stop adjusting. The chin sinks deeper into the blanket. The breathing becomes slower and more even, sometimes so soft that the only visible motion is a small rise along the ribs. This deeper sleep is important because a living body always has quiet maintenance to do. Muscles collect tiny strain from jumping, climbing, stretching, and landing. Paw pads press against hard floors. Joints absorb the force of each leap from a chair or windowsill. Even an ordinary day inside a home uses the body in hundreds of small ways. During deeper sleep, the body can put more energy toward repair. Cells replace damaged parts. Muscle tissue recovers after movement. The immune system stays active, helping the body watch for germs, inflammation, and small problems that need attention. The immune system is the body's defense network. It includes cells and chemical signals that help find and respond to things that do not belong there. Sleep supports that network because rest gives the body time to regulate those signals more carefully. For cats, this matters just as it does for other mammals. A cat that plays hard, climbs often, or spends time outdoors needs recovery built into the day. A cat that seems calm indoors still uses energy to groom, digest food, regulate temperature, and stay aware of its space. Deep sleep helps keep those systems steady. The curled sleeping shape also has a purpose. Many cats fold themselves into a tight circle, with the paws pulled in and the tail wrapped close. This posture reduces the amount of body surface exposed to the air. Less exposed surface means less heat escapes. Since a cat's normal body temperature is usually around 100.5 to 102.5 degrees Fahrenheit, staying warm matters. Warmth saves energy. A cat stretched out on cool tile may need to spend more effort holding body heat. A cat curled in a blanket, sun patch, laundry pile, or soft bed can stay warm with less work. That is why sleeping spots often change with the season. In winter, a cat may choose radiators, heated vents, thick blankets, or a person's lap. In summer, the same cat may stretch longer on wood, tile, or a shaded floor where heat can leave the body more easily. Posture becomes a quiet temperature tool. Light sleep keeps the cat close to the doorway of the world. Deep sleep is more like closing a small repair room inside the body. The outside grows less important for a while. The muscles loosen. The heart can keep a calmer pace. The body shifts from readiness into recovery. Even then, a cat usually does not stay in deep sleep for hours without change. Sleep moves in cycles. In mammals, the body passes through lighter sleep, deeper sleep, and active brain states across the full rest period. Cats move through these stages in shorter patterns than humans often do. A nap may begin lightly, sink deeper, rise again, and then drift into a new layer. This cycling helps explain why a cat may look deeply asleep for a short time, then suddenly open its eyes as though returning from far away. The body has not been gone from the room. It has been moving through sleep's inner rooms. During the deepest parts, The outside signs become simple. A cat may lie on its side. The belly may soften. The toes may spread slightly. The face may lose its watchful shape. These are small signals that the body feels safe enough to let repair take priority. In that peaceful heaviness, the sleeping cat is doing work no person can see directly. The muscles are recovering. The immune system is keeping its quiet patrol. The body is preserving warmth. The whole animal is being prepared for its next stretch, leap, meal, grooming session, or slow walk through the house. Once the body has settled this deeply, the brain begins to draw attention of its own, because sleep is also where memory, movement, and hidden experience may softly return. In some naps, the stillness begins to stir from the inside. A paw gives a tiny kick against the blanket. The whiskers tremble for a second. One ear flicks, then settles again. The tail tip may move once, as if the cat has noticed something far away. These small movements often happen during REM sleep. REM sleep is a sleep stage found in mammals and birds. The name comes from rapid eye movement, because the eyes can move beneath the eyelids while the body remains asleep. In people, REM sleep is strongly linked with vivid dreaming. In cats, this stage also appears with a more active brain, relaxed muscles, and small twitches around the face, paws, and tail. A sleeping cat may look quiet from across the room, while the brain is busy in a very different way. Electrical activity in the brain can become closer to waking patterns during REM sleep. The body, meanwhile, is usually held still by a safety system in the brainstem. The brainstem is the lower part of the brain that helps control basic functions like breathing, heart rhythm, and movement signals. During REM sleep, it helps reduce muscle activity, so dreams do not turn into full body motion. This muscle quieting is called atonia. Atonia simply means the muscles are mostly switched into a relaxed, low movement state. That is why a cat can dream like activity in the brain without fully jumping, running, or climbing in the room. The twitches that do appear are usually small leaks of movement. A paw flexes. The lips shift. The skin along the shoulder may ripple. A whisker pad may quiver as if the face is sensing something. These signs do not let anyone know exactly what the cat is experiencing, but they show that sleep has become active beneath the surface. Scientists have studied this for many decades. In the 1950s and 1960s, French sleep researcher Michel Jouvet helped show how important the brainstem is during REM sleep. In some famous cat studies, when the normal muscle stilling system was changed, sleeping cats showed complex movements while their brains were in REM sleep. They lifted their heads, stepped, arched, and made hunting-like motions, even though they were still asleep. Those observations help shape the idea that REM sleep can contain inner action, while the outer body is mostly kept quiet. For an ordinary house cat, the signs are much softer. A cat asleep on a quilt may twitch one paw as though touching a surface. A cat dozing in a sun patch may move its mouth slightly. A kitten may tremble with quick little motions, because young animals often have more active sleep while the brain is developing. These movements can look charming because they resemble tiny pieces of waking life. A paw that chased a ribbon earlier in the day may flex. Whiskers that brushed a cardboard box may shift. Ears that followed birdsong at the window may flick during sleep. The safest way to understand this is with gentle care. A twitching cat is usually moving through a normal sleep stage. The body is resting and the brain is active. The animal often needs that sleep to continue undisturbed. Waking a cat suddenly from deep or active sleep can startle it, just as a person may feel confused when pulled too quickly from a dream. The peaceful choice is usually to let the cat remain where it is, breathing softly through the moment. REM sleep also shows that cat sleep has more depth than simple stillness. The same animal that spent part of the day watching a window, chasing a toy, grooming its paws, and listening to footsteps may later enter a state where the brain becomes lively again. The room stays quiet. The blanket stays warm. The body remains mostly folded in place. Inside the sleeping brain, patterns linked with movement, memory, and sensation may begin to glow softly again, as if pieces of the day are being handled in the dark. What returns during sleep would likely come from the life the cat already knows. A cat's brain does not need a wide human story to become active at night. Its world is built from movement, scent, touch, sound, warmth, and routine. The scrape of kibble in a bowl, the flutter of birds beyond glass, the soft pressure of a blanket under the paws, the path from the hallway to the favorite chair. These are the kinds of details that fill a cat's day, and sleep may help the brain handle them after the body has gone still. In many mammals, the sleeping brain can reactivate patterns from waking life. Reactivate means that groups of brain cells fire again, in a pattern similar to one used earlier. One of the clearest examples comes from studies of rats. When rats explore a maze, certain brain cells in an area called the hippocampus become active. The hippocampus helps animals form memories of places, routes, and experiences. Later, when the rats sleep, some of those same cell patterns can appear again. It is as though the brain briefly replays part of the path. This does not prove that a cat dreams in pictures the way a person might. It shows that mammal sleep can carry echoes of waking activity. Cats have a hippocampus too. They learn the layout of a home. They remember where food appears. They know which windows show birds in the morning. They can learn which cabinet holds treats, which chair is warmest, and which footstep belongs to a familiar person. Those memories are not abstract. They are tied to the body moving through space. A cat remembers by walking, sniffing, hearing, touching, and returning. If a cat dreams, its dream material would likely be shaped by those senses. A person may dream of faces, words, streets, or conversations. A cat may have a sleeping brain filled with a different kind of world. The smell of a cardboard box, the motion of a toy across carpet, the sound of a can opening, the warmth of sunlight on fur, the feeling of landing on a windowsill. The body of a cat is built around senses that humans can only partly imagine. Smell is especially important. Cats have far more scent receptors than humans, and they use scent to recognize places, people, other animals, and territory. They also have a special scent organ in the roof of the mouth, called the vomeronasal organ. This organ helps detect chemical signals, especially from other animals. That is why a cat may pause with its mouth slightly open after smelling something interesting. The face may look strange for a moment, but the cat is gathering information. A dreamlike replay for such an animal might include scent in a way humans rarely experience. Sound would likely matter too. A cat that listened to birds through a window, a mouse toy under a couch, or footsteps in a hallway may carry those patterns into sleep. The ears may flick because the brain areas connected with sound and movement are active. The paws may twitch because movement circuits are being stirred. A whisker may tremble because the sleeping brain is connected to a body that spends waking life reading tiny changes near the face. Routine gives these memories a shape. Many cats live by repeated patterns. Morning food, a midday sun patch, an evening play session, a person returning through the door, a quiet place on the bed after the lights go low. These repeated events create a familiar map of safety and expectation. Sleep may help sort that map. It may strengthen what matters, soften what can be ignored, and connect new experiences with older ones. There is still mystery here, and it deserves a gentle kind of honesty. No one can ask a cat what it saw while sleeping. No one can know whether a twitching paw means a remembered chase, a simple nerve signal, or a dream that does not match any human idea. Still, the science of mammal sleep suggests that the sleeping brain is far from empty. For a cat, rest may carry traces of the day through quiet inner pathways. The nap on the blanket may include the hallway, the bowl, the window, the toy, the voice, and the soft known shape of home. Dreaming becomes more than a charming thought when sleep is understood as one way the brain keeps useful experience close. A remembered path can matter to a cat. The route from the couch to the food bowl, the jump from the floor to the windowsill, the narrow space behind a chair where the body fits just right, the soft sound of one person walking through the hallway instead of another. A cat's day is full of small lessons, and sleep may help those lessons settle. Scientists often call this memory consolidation. Consolidation means the brain takes a fresh experience and makes it more stable, so it can be used again later. A memory begins as something new and delicate. With time, rest, and repeated use, it can become easier for the brain to find. This process happens in many mammals. During sleep, the brain does not simply turn quiet like a lamp switched off. Different regions continue to send signals, sort patterns, and strengthen useful connections. The hippocampus, the brain area involved in place and memory, works closely with the outer layers of the brain, where many long-term memories are stored. During sleep, these areas can communicate in brief bursts of activity. In simple terms, the brain may be filing the day's useful information into better places. For a cat, useful information is often physical. The body learns distances. The paws learn surfaces. The eyes learn where movement usually appears. A cat may remember that the kitchen counter is too high from one angle, but easier from the stool. It may learn that a certain shelf wobbles, while the arm of the sofa is steady. It may learn that the red dot from a laser pointer moves differently from a feather toy, and that a toy mouse under a rug can be hooked with one paw. These lessons are small, yet they shape how a cat moves through the home. Sleep gives the brain time to handle them. A play session can leave behind patterns of chase and timing. The cat watches the toy. The body lowers. The back feet press into the floor. A leap follows when the moving object comes close enough. Later, during rest, the muscles are still, but the brain may continue sorting parts of that pattern. This is why sleep can feel like practice without motion. No actual pounce has to happen. No toy has to cross the rug. The brain can work with traces left by the waking day. Safe places may also be strengthened this way. A cat that sleeps under a bed during storms may remember that space as protected. A cat that naps on a particular chair in the afternoon may return because the spot has warmth, scent, and a view of the room. A cat that chooses the top of a cat tree may be using height as part of its safety map. These resting places are learned through repeated experience. Sleep may help the cat hold those maps more firmly. The same idea applies to people in a familiar way. After learning a new skill, sleep can help performance improve. A child practicing piano, a person learning a route through a new town, or someone repeating a simple hand movement may do better after rest. The waking practice matters. The sleep afterward helps the brain keep what was useful. Cats live this same principle through their own senses. Their learning is built from scent marks, paw pressure, balance, sound, and routine. The body rests while the brain handles the shape of living. This gives sleep a deeper purpose. The nap after play may help organize movement. The nap after exploring a new room may help sort the layout. The nap after meeting a new animal may help process smell, sound, and safety. A quiet cat in a sunny patch may be carrying out hidden work that supports the next waking hour. The still body becomes a place where experience is softened, sorted, and stored. That is why sleep matters so much across the whole life of a cat. It protects energy. It repairs tissue. It keeps memory usable. It helps the animal return to the world with a better sense of where things are, how they move, and what they mean. For a growing kitten, this work becomes even more important because the brain and body are still being built while the tiny animal sleeps. In the first weeks of life, sleep takes up nearly everything. A newborn kitten may spend close to 20 hours a day asleep. Its eyes are closed. Its ears are still folded. Its body is small enough to fit easily in one hand. At birth, a kitten weighs only about 3 to 4 ounces, roughly the weight of a small apple. By the end of the first week, that weight can nearly double when feeding is going well. That kind of growth requires enormous quiet work. Milk becomes bone, muscle, blood, fur, and warmth. The body is building itself one feeding and one sleep cycle at a time. Kittens are born very unfinished compared with many other young animals. A newborn foal can stand and walk within hours. A kitten needs much longer. The eyes usually begin opening around 7 to 14 days after birth. The ears open and become more useful during the first couple of weeks. The legs grow stronger slowly, and early movement looks wobbly, soft, and uncertain. Around 3 weeks, many kittens begin walking with more control. By 4 or 5 weeks, they start pouncing, wrestling, climbing over littermates, and practicing the small motions that will later become hunting skills. Sleep surrounds all of this development. During sleep, the young nervous system has time to organize new connections. The nervous system includes the brain, spinal cord, and nerves that carry messages through the body. In a kitten, those messages are still becoming smoother. A paw reaches forward. The body tips. The head corrects. The tail helps with balance. Each tiny movement teaches the brain where the body is in space. Sleep helps the brain keep useful patterns from that practice. This matters because a cat's adult movement is extremely precise. A grown cat can land on a narrow surface, turn in midair, judge a gap before jumping, and place its paws quietly on uneven ground. That grace begins in the clumsy days when a kitten tumbles over a blanket edge or paws at a sibling's tail. The deep rest afterward is part of the learning. The muscles also need that rest. Growing tissue is active tissue. Muscle fibers lengthen and strengthen. Bones add minerals. Tendons and ligaments adjust as the kitten becomes heavier and more mobile. A kitten may seem to fall asleep suddenly after a few minutes of play because the body has reached a limit quickly. The energy that powers pouncing also has to power growth. Rest gives the young body a safe way to spend energy inward. The immune system is developing as well. Very young kittens first receive some protection from their mother's milk, especially the first milk after birth, called colostrum. Colostrum contains antibodies, which are protective proteins that help the body recognize certain germs. As weeks pass, the kitten's own immune system has to become more capable. Sleep supports immune function by helping the body regulate defense cells and chemical signals. For a small animal with limited reserves, that support matters. Warmth is another reason kittens sleep so much. Newborn kittens cannot control body temperature as well as adult cats. They depend on their mother, their littermates, and a warm nesting place. A pile of sleeping kittens is doing something practical. Small bodies pressed together lose heat more slowly. The nest becomes a shared source of warmth while the kittens grow. The stillness may look simple from the outside. Inside, the body is changing quickly. Eyes are preparing to see. Ears are learning sound. Paws are gaining strength. The brain is shaping balance, memory, and movement. A sleeping kitten is becoming the animal that will later leap onto a chair, chase dust in a sunbeam, and land lightly on a windowsill. As the cat grows older, sleep keeps its importance, though the purpose slowly shifts. The young body uses rest to build. Later in life, the same quiet pattern helps the body preserve energy, recover from use, and move more gently through age. As the years pass, sleep begins to serve a quieter purpose. A young cat may wake from a nap and launch into motion, as if the body has been freshly wound. An older cat may rise more slowly. The front paws stretch forward. The back arches carefully. The hind legs take a moment before the first step feels smooth. Many veterinarians begin calling cats senior around 10 or 11 years old, though some cats stay active well beyond that age. By 15, a cat is often considered geriatric, a word that simply means very old in the medical sense. At that stage of life, rest often becomes a larger part of the day. An older cat may still enjoy food, affection, windows, warm beds, and short bursts of play. Its body just handles energy differently. Muscles may lose some strength over time. Joints may become stiffer. Recovery after jumping, climbing, or running may take longer than it once did. A cat that used to leap straight onto a high dresser may begin using a chair halfway up. A cat that once raced through the hallway after dinner may prefer a shorter chase with a toy, followed by a long nap beside the couch. Joint stiffness is especially common in aging cats. Osteoarthritis, which means wear and inflammation inside the joints, is often found in older cats, even when they do not clearly limp. Cats are quiet about discomfort. A sore knee, hip, elbow, or spine may show up as smaller changes. The cat may hesitate before jumping down. It may sleep on lower furniture. It may groom one area less because twisting is harder. It may spend more time resting because movement asks more from the body. Sleep then becomes part of daily management. The older body uses stillness to reduce strain. Soft bedding can cushion pressure points. Warm places can ease tight muscles. A quiet room can help the cat rest without needing to keep adjusting to noise, footsteps, or sudden movement. Metabolism also changes with age. Metabolism is the way the body turns food into energy and uses that energy to maintain life. In many older animals, daily activity naturally drops. Less running and climbing means fewer calories are burned through movement. At the same time, the body may become less efficient at maintaining muscle. Some older cats lose weight and muscle even when they still eat. Others gain weight if food intake stays high, while activity falls. Both patterns can affect sleep. A heavier body may make movement harder. A thinner body may tire more easily. Rest becomes a way to handle the changing balance. Senses can shift too. An older cat may not hear as sharply. Its vision may grow cloudy. The sense of smell, so important for food and comfort, may become less strong with age or illness. When the world becomes a little harder to read, familiar sleeping places become more important. A known blanket, a favorite chair, or a bed near a trusted person gives the cat a stable point in the day. The difference between kitten sleep and senior sleep is gentle to picture. A kitten sleeps while the body is being built. An older cat sleeps while the body is being cared for. The first kind of sleep supports fast growth, new brain pathways, stronger bones, and better coordination. The later kind supports comfort, recovery, warmth, and careful use of energy. Both belong to the same life, just at different speeds. This is why changes in sleep can feel so meaningful to people who know a cat well. A long nap may be normal. A sudden change may be worth noticing. If an older cat begins hiding more, stops jumping, sleeps in unusual places, eats less, cries at night, or seems confused, those details can signal that the body needs attention. In everyday aging, though, the slower rhythm can be peaceful. The cat has learned the house. It knows the sunny patch by the window. It knows the sound of the food bowl. It knows which blanket holds warmth the longest after laundry. Sleep gathers around those familiar comforts, helping the older body move through the day with less effort. Across kittenhood, adulthood, and age, rest keeps changing its work. The safest sleep often begins in the place where the cat feels warm, sheltered, and allowed to fully soften. A chosen sleeping place tells a quiet story. The cat may pass by the soft bed bought especially for it and climb into a cardboard box instead. It may ignore a clean cushion and settle on a sweater left on a chair. A narrow windowsill, a laundry basket, the top of a bookshelf, or the shadow under a bed can become the favorite place for a long afternoon nap. These choices often follow simple rules the cat's body understands well. Warmth is one of the strongest. A cat's comfort temperature is higher than the temperature most people keep inside a home. Many indoor rooms sit around 68 to 72 degrees Fahrenheit. For a resting cat, a warmer spot can feel better because less energy is needed to hold body heat steady. This helps explain the love of sun patches. A square of sunlight on a wooden floor may be several degrees warmer than the surrounding room. The cat finds it, turns once or twice, folds down, and lets the heat soak into the fur. Blankets work in a similar way. So do laps, heated vents, laptops, fresh laundry, and the soft top of a couch that has been warmed by afternoon light. The sleeping place also has to feel secure. Cats often like elevated spots because height gives information. From the back of a sofa or the top of a cat tree, the animal can see doorways, windows, people, and other pets moving below. A raised place gives the body more time to react. In a wild setting, a branch, rock, wall, or roof edge can offer the same advantage. The cat can rest while keeping part of the world in view. Enclosed spaces give a different kind of comfort. A box has walls. A closet has a narrow entrance. The space under a bed has a low ceiling and shaded edges. These places limit the directions from which something can approach. For a small animal, that can feel deeply calming. This is one reason hiding boxes are often used in shelters. When newly arrived cats are given a covered place to retreat, many settle more easily because they can control how much of the world they face at once. Softness matters too, though cats do not always choose softness the way people expect. A folded towel, a rumpled blanket, or a pile of laundry can shape itself around the body. That support helps the muscles release. A hard surface can still be appealing when it is warm, high, or safe. This is why a cat may choose a windowsill over a thick bed. The view, heat, and height can outweigh the cushion. Scent adds another layer. Cats have scent glands on the cheeks, chin, forehead, paws, and near the base of the tail. These glands release chemical messages called pheromones. Pheromones are scent signals that animals use to mark places, share information, and create familiarity. When a cat rubs its face against a chair leg, a blanket, or a person's hand, it is leaving a soft scent mark. That mark can make the place feel known. A sweater worn by a familiar person may carry body scent, detergent scent, and the cat's own scent from earlier rubbing or sleeping. To the cat, that sweater is full of information. It smells like safety, routine, and home. This is why moving a cat's favorite blanket can change where it sleeps. The blanket is more than fabric. It holds warmth, texture, and a scent map of repeated rest. Over time, a sleeping place becomes part of the cat's daily rhythm. Morning may belong to the east-facing window. Afternoon may belong to the couch. Evening may belong to the bed, the rug, or the chair nearest the warmest lamp. The home becomes a quiet landscape of resting stations. Each one offers a different blend of heat, cover, scent, height, and softness. When a cat chooses one of these places, the body is choosing the conditions that allow sleep to deepen. A safe place lets the ears relax. A warm place lets the muscles soften. A familiar scent lets the nervous system lower its guard. Sometimes that trusted place is close to a person, and the simple act of sleeping nearby carries its own gentle meaning. Close to a person. A resting place carries warmth, scent, sound, and routine. A cat may choose the foot of the bed. It may settle beside a pillow. It may sleep against a leg on the couch, or curl into the bend behind someone's knees. The choice can look simple from the outside. The cat is finding a comfortable place. Yet comfort, for a cat, is made from several pieces working together. Warmth comes first. A resting human body gives off steady heat. Since a cat's normal body temperature is usually around 100.5 to 102.5 degrees Fahrenheit, a warm person can feel like a living heat source. The blanket holds that heat. The mattress softens the surface. The room grows quieter as the night deepens. For an animal that spends many hours conserving energy, this kind of place has real value. Warmth means the body can relax without working as hard to stay comfortable. Familiar scent matters as well. Cats identify the world through smell far more than people do. A bed carries the scent of skin, laundry detergent, blankets, hair, and the cat's own scent marks from earlier rubbing or kneading. A person's scent becomes part of the sleeping space. To the cat, that familiar smell can make the bed feel known. It is a place that has been used before, survived before, and returned to many times. Routine makes it even stronger. If the same person goes to bed around the same hour, turns off the same lamp, and settles under the same blanket, the cat can learn the sequence. The sound of a drawer closing, a phone placed on a nightstand, or a door being pulled nearly shut can become a bedtime signal. A cat that appears suddenly at night may be responding to those tiny, repeated clues. The body has learned that the home is entering a calm period. Sleeping near a human also involves trust. Sleep makes any animal less ready to respond. The eyes close, the muscles loosen, the body spends less attention on the room. For a cat, choosing to rest beside a person means accepting shared space during a vulnerable state. This does not need to be dramatic. It can be quiet and practical. A cat may simply feel safer near a familiar body that has never caused harm. In the wild, many animals rest near trusted companions or inside secure territory. Lions may sleep close together in prides, sharing warmth and protection. Feral domestic cats, when food is available and social bonds are stable, may form loose colonies where familiar cats rest in the same area. Some groom each other, some rub cheeks, some sleep close enough for scent and warmth to overlap. House cats keep some of that social flexibility. They can be independent, yet still choose closeness with known animals or people. The position a cat chooses can also make sense. Some cats sleep near a person's feet because the space is warm but less crowded. It may also offer an easier escape route if the person moves. Other cats sleep near the chest or head, where breathing sounds, body heat, and familiar scent are stronger. A cat may press its back against a person because that contact protects one side of the body. It may face the doorway while resting, keeping the room in its quiet awareness. Even affection has a practical shape. The sleeping cat is gathering heat, scent, safety, and habit into one place. A soft purr may appear as the body settles. Purring involves quick muscle movements in the voice box during breathing, often producing a low vibration between about 25 and 150 Hz. Cats may purr when content, when seeking comfort, or when settling near someone familiar. At bedtime, that vibration can become part of the shared calm of the room. The person breathes slowly. The cat adjusts its paws. The blanket warms around both bodies. This closeness does not remove the old hunter from the animal. It shows how the old hunter has adapted to a safer life. A cat that once would have needed brush, stone, height, or shadow may now choose a human bed as part of its secure territory. The modern home gives safety in abundance, and that abundance changes how sleep, play, boredom, and daily stimulation fit together. Safety changes the shape of a cat's day. Inside a home, many of the hardest parts of survival are already handled. Food appears in a bowl. Water stays in the same place. The temperature is usually controlled by walls, windows, vents, blankets, and human routines. There are no cold nights under wet leaves. There are no larger predators moving through the dark. There is no need to cross open ground, search through grass, or wait beside a burrow for a mouse to appear. For a wildcat, daily life takes work. A small hunter may need to patrol its territory, avoid danger, find shelter, listen for prey, and choose each movement carefully. The African wildcat, the close wild relative of domestic cats, often lives in dry grassland, scrub, farmland edges, and rocky places where cover can be scattered. In those spaces, food is never guaranteed. A rodent may be nearby 1 hour and gone the next. A bird may notice the cat too soon. A reptile may slip under a stone. Life outside asks the animal to spend energy finding chances. Indoor life removes much of that pressure. A house cat may still carry the body of a hunter, but the hunt has been softened into smaller daily pieces. The food bowl takes the place of many successful catches. A toy mouse replaces a living one. A window becomes the edge of a territory. The couch, bed, table, hallway, and cat tree become the landscape. With fewer urgent jobs to do, more of the day can settle into rest. This is one reason indoor cats can seem especially sleepy. The body still expects long sleep, because cats are naturally built around rest and bursts of activity. The home then adds even more opportunity for stillness. A cat can nap without worrying that a meal will be missed. It can sleep through rain, wind, snow, heat, and loud outdoor changes from behind glass. It can pause in a blanket pile while the outside world moves on without requiring a response. Predictability has a calming effect. When food arrives at the same time each day, the cat learns the pattern. When the litter box stays in one room, the water dish stays in another, and favorite sleeping spots remain available, the home becomes easy to read. That steady map can help a cat feel secure. It can also make the day less varied. Outdoors, a cat would meet changing smells, shifting light, insects, birds, soil, plants, and the movement of other animals. Indoors, the same carpet, same walls, and same furniture may remain nearly unchanged for months or years. A cat may still enjoy that space, but the number of new signals is smaller. This can make sleep feel more of the empty time. A window can add richness. Birds at a feeder, squirrels on a fence, leaves moving in wind, or rain sliding down the glass can give the cat something to watch. A cardboard box can become a new hiding place. A paper bag with the handles removed can offer sound, scent, and texture. A scratching post lets the claws pull and stretch. A cat tree gives height, climbing, and a better view of the room. These simple objects matter because they add choices to the waking day. A sleepy indoor cat may be perfectly healthy. Many adult cats still rest for 12 to 16 hours across a full day. The important detail is how the cat behaves when awake. A content cat may sleep deeply, then wake to eat, groom, stretch, play, explore, use the litter box, and seek contact in its own style. A day with some movement, curiosity, and routine gives sleep a richer base. A flatter routine can look similar from a distance. The cat still sleeps. The room still feels calm. The body still curls into familiar places. Yet the waking hours may carry less interest, less challenge, and fewer chances to use the senses and muscles that shape the animal. Healthy rest and understimulated rest can sit close together in the same quiet home, which is why the texture of the waking day matters just as much as the number of hours spent asleep. A richer waking day often begins with small chances to use the body. Cats need rest, but they also need moments that wake up the senses. A cat's paws are made to grip, stretch, and press. Its claws grow in layers, and scratching helps shed the outer worn layer, leaving a sharper surface beneath. This is why a scratching post, a cardboard scratcher, or a rough sisal surface can matter so much. Scratching also leaves scent from glands in the paws. To a cat, the scratch mark is partly a stretch, partly a signal, and partly a small claim on the space. Climbing has its own value. A cat tree, shelf, windowsill, or sturdy chair gives the cat a vertical world. Height lets the animal look down over the room, watch doorways, and rest with a wider view. For a species that often likes lookout points, vertical space can make a small apartment feel larger. A single tall perch near a window can change the whole shape of a day. The window itself can become a quiet kind of theatre. Birds crossing a yard, squirrels moving along a fence, leaves tapping against glass, or cars passing in rain, all give the cat changing patterns to watch. Even indoor cats can track movement with their eyes and ears. Some cats chatter softly at birds. Some crouch with the tail twitching. Others simply sit still, taking in the motion outside. That watching is still mental activity. It gives the brain something to handle before sleep returns. Scent can add another layer to an indoor life. Cats explore through smell in a careful way. A paper bag from a store, a cardboard box, a blanket from another room, or a safe pinch of catnip can bring new information into the home. Catnip affects many cats because it contains a compound called nepetalactone. That compound can trigger rolling, rubbing, sniffing, and playful behavior in cats that are sensitive to it. Some cats respond strongly. Others barely react at all. The difference is partly inherited. Silver vine, another plant used for cat enrichment, can affect some cats that do not respond to catnip. These scents create novelty, which means something new enough to catch attention. A waking day with novelty has more shape. Without enough variety, the day can become flat. The cat wakes, eats, walks through the same rooms, finds little to explore, and settles again. The total sleep may still look normal. The body may still curl in a familiar place. Yet the waking hours carry less movement and less choice. That is the quiet risk of understimulation. Understimulation means the cat has too few chances to use its natural behaviors. Those behaviors include stalking, chasing, climbing, scratching, sniffing, watching, and searching. A house cat does not need to hunt to survive, but the hunting system still wants practice. When that system has nothing to do, rest can fill the space. Rest after activity has a different feeling from sleep that fills empty hours. After a good play session, a cat may breathe a little faster, lick its paws, groom its chest, eat, and settle into a long, soft nap. The body has used energy. The senses have been engaged. The sleep that follows fits into a complete rhythm. With too little activity, the cat may drift from one resting place to another, because the day offers fewer reasons to stay awake. Many simple changes can make waking time more satisfying. A wand toy can move like prey, sliding behind a chair leg or disappearing around a corner. A puzzle feeder can make the cat work gently for food by pouring, rolling, or searching. A cardboard box with a cut doorway can become a hideout. A blanket folded into a tunnel can create a new path across the floor. Even moving a perch closer to a window can give the cat more to notice. These changes do not need to make the home loud or busy. Cats often prefer short, focused activity. 5 or 10 minutes of play can be enough for many adult cats, especially when the toy moves in a way that feels alive. The important part is giving the old instincts a small place in the modern day. When the body has climbed, scratched, watched, sniffed, and played, sleep can return with more purpose. The cat's waking life and sleeping life begin to fit together again, like two quiet halves of the same ancient pattern. That ancient pattern becomes easiest to see during play. A cat may be lying quietly on the floor when a feather wand begins to move near the edge of a chair. At first, the cat may only watch. The head lowers a little. The pupils widen. The shoulders sink closer to the ground. The back feet press into the carpet, preparing the body for a sudden push. This first part matters. For cats, play is often most satisfying when it resembles hunting. A real hunt usually begins with attention before action. The cat sees motion, hears a faint sound, or notices a small shape moving at the edge of cover. Then the body becomes still. This stillness is active. The brain is measuring distance. The eyes are tracking speed. The muscles are waiting for the moment when movement will be worth the energy. A toy that moves like prey can wake up this system. A feather that slips around a corner, a string that drags behind a box, or a small stuffed mouse that skitters across the floor can all give the cat something to follow. The best movement usually has pauses. Real prey rarely moves in a straight, steady line forever. It stops near shelter. It changes speed. It disappears behind leaves, rocks, furniture, or shadow. When a toy behaves with that kind of uneven motion, the cat has more to think about. The game becomes a small puzzle for the eyes, paws, ears, and body. A house cat may have food waiting in the kitchen, yet the hunting pattern still wants expression. The behavior is sometimes called the predatory sequence. That means a linked chain of actions connected with hunting. A cat orients toward the target. It stalks. It chases. It pounces. It may bite or kick with the back feet once the object is caught. In play, this sequence becomes safe practice. The cat is not trying to survive on the toy, but the brain and body still recognize the shape of the activity. Short play sessions often work better than long ones. Many cats give strong effort for a few minutes, then pause. This is normal for an animal built around bursts. A young, active cat may play longer. An older cat may prefer a slower toy and shorter rounds. A heavier cat, a shy cat, or a cat with stiff joints may need gentle movement near the floor. The goal is not to exhaust the cat. The goal is to let the body complete a satisfying little pattern. 5 minutes can matter when the play is focused. 10 minutes can be plenty for many adult cats. A session may have several small bursts with rest between them. The cat crouches, springs, catches the toy, releases it, then watches again. After a few rounds, the body begins to settle. The breathing may quicken slightly. The ears return to a softer position. The tail loosens. The cat may sit down and lick one paw as if smoothing the energy back out of the body. The catch is important. When a cat never gets to grab the toy, the game can become frustrating. This is why laser pointers can be exciting but incomplete if used alone. The red dot moves quickly and triggers chasing, but there is nothing solid to hold at the end. Many cats do better when a laser game finishes with a real toy or treat the paws can reach. The body wants the small ending that says the hunt has landed. After the catch, calm arrives more naturally. The cat may carry the toy away. It may flop beside it. It may walk toward the food bowl because in the old pattern, a hunt leads to eating. This is where play begins to connect with sleep. A cat that has watched, stalked, chased, and caught has used the body in a way that matches its design. The nervous system has had a job. The muscles have spent their stored energy. The senses have been given something real to follow. Then rest no longer feels like empty time filling a quiet room. It becomes the peaceful finish to a completed cycle. For many cats, the most natural path toward a deep nap begins with a small hunt, followed by food, cleaning, and the slow return of stillness. After the chase has ended, many cats move into a softer pattern. The toy has been caught. The paws have done their quick work. The body has spent its short burst of energy. Then comes the meal, or at least the feeling of completion that a meal would have given in a wild setting. For a cat, eating is often part of a larger behavioral chain. The body searches, focuses, stalks, pounces, catches, eats, cleans, and rests. In a home, this pattern may be smaller and safer. A feather toy replaces prey. A bowl of food replaces the catch. A blanket replaces the hidden resting place that might have been used outdoors. Yet the order can still feel deeply natural to the cat. This is why a short play session before a meal can work so well. The cat uses the hunting system first. Then food arrives at the moment the body is ready for the reward. After eating, many cats begin to groom. The tongue moves over the lips. The front paw is licked and drawn across the face. The chest, shoulders, and sides may be cleaned with slow, careful strokes. A cat's tongue is covered with tiny backward-facing spines called papillae. They are made of keratin, the same tough material found in claws and human fingernails. These small hooks help pull loose fur, spread natural oils, and remove bits of food or debris. Grooming after eating has a practical side. In wild animals, food scent can attract attention. Cleaning the mouth, paws, and fur may reduce leftover odors from a meal. For a small predator that also has to avoid larger animals, that kind of cleanliness can matter. Even in a safe home, the behavior remains. A cat may finish a bowl of wet food, step away, sit down on the kitchen floor, and begin washing its face as though completing an old task. Grooming also helps the body shift into calm. The repeated licking motion is steady and familiar. The cat bends inward. The eyes may narrow. The breathing slows. A few minutes earlier, the body may have been chasing and gripping. Now the same body is smoothing fur, clearing scent, and lowering its energy. This transition can be easy to miss because it looks so ordinary. Yet it is one of the most beautiful parts of a cat's daily rhythm. The meal does more than fill the stomach. Digestion begins as food moves from the mouth, through the esophagus, and into the stomach. Proteins and fats from meat-based food are broken down into smaller parts the body can use. Cats are obligate carnivores, which means their bodies are designed to get key nutrients from animal tissue. They need nutrients such as taurine, an amino acid important for the heart, eyes, and normal body function. After eating, blood flow supports the digestive organs. The body has a reason to become quieter. A calm resting period gives digestion space to continue. This is why the post-meal nap can seem so complete. The hunt-like play has used energy. The food has replaced energy. The grooming has cleaned the body and softened the nervous system. Sleep arrives as the final part of the cycle. A cat may choose a nearby chair, a sun-warmed rug, or the edge of a bed. It may turn in place once, fold the paws beneath the chest, and let the eyelids sink. The whole sequence can happen in less than half an hour. To a person, it may seem like a cat has eaten and become sleepy for no reason. To the cat's body, the rhythm is coherent. Activity has ended. Food has arrived. Cleaning is complete. The resting place is safe. This pattern also explains why cats often enjoy routine. A predictable play session, a familiar feeding time, and a quiet place afterward can create a daily shape the cat understands. The body knows how to move through it. The nervous system knows when to rise and when to settle. The same old cycle that once belonged to grass, shadow, and prey can now unfold beside a kitchen bowl and a soft blanket. By this point, the sleeping cat looks less like a puzzle. The nap becomes the last calm step in a chain that began with attention and ended with trust. In that quiet final step, many parts of the cat are working at once. The room may show only a curled shape on a blanket. The tail is wrapped close. The nose is tucked near the paws. The eyes are closed, and the body seems to have become a soft little comma in the warmest part of the bed. From the outside, sleep looks like stillness. Inside, it is an organized state. The first job is energy conservation. A resting cat uses less fuel than an active cat. The muscles are no longer pushing the body across the floor, up a chair, or toward a moving toy. The heart and lungs continue their steady work, yet the body does not need to support fast running, climbing, or leaping. That saved energy matters because cats are built around bursts. A few seconds of sprinting, pouncing, or wrestling can use the body intensely. Long rest protects the fuel needed for those bright little moments of action. The second job is repair. During deeper sleep, the body can focus more attention on maintenance. Cells mend small damage. Muscles recover after use. The immune system continues its quiet patrol. A cat that jumped from a windowsill, scratched a post, chased a toy, or groomed for several minutes has used muscles, joints, skin, claws, and nerves. Sleep gives all of those systems a calmer setting in which to reset. Even digestion fits into this hidden work. After a meal, the stomach and intestines break food into smaller parts. Protein becomes amino acids, which the body can use to maintain muscle, skin, organs, and fur. Fat becomes stored energy and building material for cells. Water moves through the body, helping carry nutrients and waste. A sleeping cat may look untouched by effort, while the body quietly handles the meal from the bowl. Another part of sleep is light vigilance. Vigilance means watchfulness. Cats often remain partly responsive during lighter sleep. One ear may turn toward a sound. The whiskers may shift when something brushes near the face. The paws may sense vibration through the surface beneath them. This is why a cat can seem deeply relaxed and still notice the soft click of a door, the opening of a cabinet, or the faint sound of food being poured. The body rests while a thin line of awareness stays connected to the room. Memory is part of the sleeping work as well. A cat's brain stores information from the day, the path to the food bowl, the feel of a new box, the smell of another animal near the door, the timing of a play session, the sound of a familiar person coming home. During sleep, especially in active stages such as REM sleep, the brain may handle pieces of these experiences. The paws may twitch, the ears may flick, the whiskers may tremble for a second. These movements cannot tell us exactly what the cat experiences, but they suggest a sleeping brain that remains busy with patterns of motion, sense, and memory. The daily body clock is also being regulated. Light, meals, play, household sounds, and bedtime routines all help shape when the cat becomes sleepy or alert. A cat that naps through the afternoon may be saving its energy for evening. A cat that wakes before sunrise may be responding to old dawn and dusk rhythms, mixed with the learned pattern of breakfast in the home. Sleep and waking keep adjusting each other. A good nap supports the next active window. A good active window gives the next nap more purpose. All of these systems can exist in one ordinary sleeping cat. The animal on the blanket is conserving energy. The body is repairing tissue. The senses are staying lightly ready. The brain is sorting experience. The inner clock is keeping time with light, food, and routine. That is why the sleeping cat begins to feel different now. The same quiet shape that once looked like laziness has become a living pattern of survival, comfort, memory, and trust. The final image is still simple. A cat asleep in a safe home, yet the meaning has grown softer and deeper around it. A cat asleep in a safe home carries a long history in a very small shape. The body may be curled on a blanket, pressed into a sun patch, or stretched along the end of a bed. The room around it may be ordinary. A lamp glows softly. A window holds the dark outline of evening. A bowl sits in the kitchen, already filled or waiting for morning. Nothing dramatic seems to be happening. Yet the sleeping cat belongs to a pattern that began long before heated rooms, soft carpets, and ceramic dishes. Small wildcats, close in form to Felis libica, survived by using energy carefully. They waited near grass, stone, brush, and stored grain. They hunted animals much smaller than themselves. They moved most when the light was dim, and the world was easier to read through sound, scent, and motion. That same ancient rhythm now rests on a quilt. The setting has changed, but the body still understands conservation. It still understands timing. It still understands the value of a warm, protected place. The long sleep of a cat begins to feel peaceful because it is so complete. It holds the hunter's need to save energy. It holds the kitten's need to grow. It holds the older cat's need to recover. It holds the indoor cat's need for comfort, routine, and familiar territory. A single nap can carry many quiet purposes without making a sound. The cat may spend 12 to 16 hours resting across a full day. Some kittens and senior cats may sleep even longer. Those hours are not empty space in the animal's life. They are part of how the animal keeps itself ready, steady, and well. The body repairs small strains from movement. The brain may sort pieces of the day. The ears may remain lightly connected to the room. The inner clock continues to follow light, meals, habits, and those soft dawn and dusk signals that still matter to feline life. There is something comforting in the way cats make rest visible. They do not hide the need for stillness. They fold into it. They choose a warm place and let the body soften. They follow the sun as it moves across the floor. They turn a cardboard box into shelter, a windowsill into a lookout, a blanket into a nest, and a trusted person into part of the sleeping landscape. Their rest reminds the home to slow down around them. A person may look at a sleeping cat and see a small lesson in biology. The rise and fall of the ribs shows that the body is still working. The flick of an ear shows that awareness has not fully gone away. The twitch of a paw hints at a sleeping brain that may still carry motion, scent, and memory. The curled posture shows how carefully warmth is saved. Each detail is simple enough to see, and each one belongs to a larger design. The peaceful cat on the bed is connected to twilight hunters, early farming villages, barns, fields, windows, bowls, blankets, toys, and quiet human rooms. All of those worlds meet in one resting animal. The question that began with so much sleep ends in a softer understanding. A cat is living according to its own ancient rhythm. Rest is part of its strength. Stillness is part of its readiness. Sleep is part of the way the body remembers how to be a cat. So when the day grows late and a cat settles near you, the scene can feel a little different. The closed eyes, the tucked paws, the slow breath, and the warm fur are all signs of a body doing what it was shaped to do. There is no hurry in it. There is no wasted time. Only an old pattern made gentle by the safety of home. The cat sleeps because sleep belongs to its life as naturally as stalking, stretching, grooming, and waking when the light begins to change. And in that quiet rhythm, the home becomes softer too. The night holds still. The breathing stays slow. The small hunter rests safely, wrapped in warmth, trust, and the calm wisdom of its own design.